Welcome to Conversation for the Soul. Today we're here with Petra Dutton, and Petra is a conduit for unity consciousness. Welcome, Petra. So wonderful to have you today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been absolutely lovely to connect with you. And I just want to say, before I actually met you, or online, I was really taken by the colors you share through your photography and on YouTube channel as well. When I opened that YouTube channel, I just saw this beautiful light, and it was so welcoming that when you asked me about coming here, I was so grateful and excited. It was, just absolutely amazing. So thank you for having me.
Nothing happens by accident, does it? It's all divinely aligned. Beautiful. Yeah. Well, Petra, I'd like to start by having you share your awakening story with everyone. Did you come in fully aware, or was there something that kind of triggered that for you along the way?
So my story is actually quite fast. I had my awakening on the 31st of December 2018. And that happened when I went to see this lovely lady for regression therapy. And nothing is the same ever. Since that moment, I have, so that session was about two hours, and I came home feeling really heavy because I cried so much, lots of tears, and it was lots of stuff was released. And I thought, I went there with an intention to be able to use pendulum. That was my intention, because before that I was very, how can I say this? 3D. I don't want to name it like that, but it felt like that to me. I was not aware about many things. And I remember going into a garden and standing there, and that was about 3 months before this happened. And I was standing there talking to a higher guidance, which I always felt I had within me. Okay, and I just said, oh my gosh, what is this? What is this? I don't understand this. Could you just show me more? I know there is more, so I want to see it. I want to know. And that was out loud. I was saying these words out loud. And then I went back into the house, and then we lived in Carterton, like near Oxford. And when we lived there, it was really, those energies there were very heavy for me. Lots of things happened there. And I didn't really like it there very much. We lived there for 3 years. So after that, suddenly, 3 months later, we moved down to Plymouth. And here I came out of the car, and next door neighbor's dog, called Isis,
oh my gosh,
literally ran towards me, and she was a black Labrador, and jumped up, and I was like, oh gosh, this is lovely. And I love animals. I've got George here right next to me. He's a golden retriever. And so then I was like, oh my gosh, isn't that nice to be welcomed by a dog? It's so lovely. What a lovely neighborhood. And little did I know that 3 months later, I would be in this, not 3 months later, actually, a year later, because we moved in here in 2017. And moving here, I was really pushed towards studying. Like, I did a bit of counseling, I did a bit of positive psychology, but I wasn't really staying with those modalities. I felt like I did a little bit, and then it was enough. I had to move on. It wasn't like, I didn't feel that I needed to know more. And sort of, I met a really lovely friend then, who then recommended this lady for regression therapy. And so I went to see her, and then you know the story. I came home, cried more and more, like another 3 days of crying. And that night, the first night, I was awakened during the night, and I was in this golden and purple light, and it was very, very different experience for me. I've never experienced that before. So, but inside, like deep down, I had a feeling that it's okay, you know, this is okay. I was like, wow, this is amazing, like things like that happen, it's so crazy. But I was actually calm, yet I was really like, whoa, you know, what's going on. And I felt pulsation at the bottom of my spine, like really a lot of pulsation was going on there. Not pain, just feelings, and this golden and purple light, and I was having my eyes opened or closed, and I saw just the purple and gold light. So
Wow.
it's like, well, this is really cool. And basically then the next day I was like, oh God, what was that? So I was trying to Google pulsation at the spine, you know, at the bottom of the spine and all of that. And it took me on this path literally from the 1st of January 2019, and I was trying to make sense out of the whole experience. And I mean, the guidance was so beautiful. I was first I met this lady called Braca Goldsmith. Now she was called Barbara Goldsmith before. I think she changed her name. And do you mind me saying names, or
No,
shall we?
that's fine.
Yeah.
As long,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how this works. So, and she was channeling the Palladians. So that was my very first sort of encounter with, you know, those beautiful channelings and beings. And I thought, wow, that is so incredibly amazing. And I literally dived into it and picked up messages from other people, and just was reading and reading and reading loads of stuff. And I have then contacted her and had a session with her. And oh my gosh, I cried more just, you know, because it was like coming home, you know, like that release of, whoa, what was that? What is now? You know, and then figuring out in between what was happening. So that was incredible. And so the connection with them was beautiful. And I remember this sentence. I was like, could you please tell me about this multidimensional being I am? and then of course the ego was woohoo, you know, going up here and wanted to know everything. And they said, oh, you know, you are this toddler and you just want to be an adult.
Oh, it's so cute.
It was so beautiful. And I was like, all right then. I get it. You know, I thought I'm going to have it explained in one session and everything will be, you know, I will understand everything. But anyway, then I was guided to many other different trainings. I was invited to do priestess training, then high priestess training I did. And I finished that as well. But again, all those kind of trainings, I couldn't stay with just one, you know. There's just so much sort of to bring in and to remember and sort of to explore, that I was again sort of learning other things through Michaela Sheldon, you know, and her beautiful courses that were just so beautiful. Her channelings are amazing. And so there was lots of things that I needed to remember and be reminded of. And basically and then I was, you know, like I did a lot of meditation. Basically my first meditation was I fell back into Egypt for like 2.5 hours. I was in this green light, not actually seeing exactly lives in Egypt, but I knew I was there. And I had to do this huge forgiveness. It was ceremony. I didn't know what I was doing, but it was just coming automatically. and I had to do huge forgiveness. There were so many people, so many lives, so many different beings, different shapes, everything. So it was like trying to I didn't know what I was doing, but now I know that I was basically calling the soul's aspects, which kind of were ready to join me, you know, on this journey. And so that was very interesting. And then I had throughout those months, like guidance from spirit, like sentences were coming in saying all sorts of different things, like almost always like short words or some sentences. And I kind of really felt stronger in my inner guidance more and more all the time. It was like steps. And then last year in March, something beautiful happened, and I connected to the seraphims. And that was the most incredible moment in my sleep because I felt I was walking literally in light for 3 days. It was incredible. And it flipped my life. It flipped my perception completely. I came out of fear, and I was so much more relaxed, and I felt like I kind of sank inwards more. So I literally found the trust in the path, you know, in the what I have planned, and that everything will be okay, of course, you know. And that was incredible. And then since then, I just found myself much more grounded and happy, joyful, you know, like that everything is actually gonna turn out really well. And then since March, then it was October, when I had another really beautiful guidance, and the guide said, or my higher self said, tipping point, literally just tipping point. And I thought, oh yeah, wow. And they said something like, thanks to you all, we made it. We literally are now, you know, on the other side, which was really lovely to hear.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
because afterwards there was obviously a lot of stuff, and it was the COVID situation and all that. And so it was really interesting. But what has helped me to walk this path with less fear, I think, was the kind of, I want to say two things: the amount of tears I cried out because that was the dense energy on, you know, all the patterns left me, or I was seeing them differently. I'm not saying that they are gone, I'm just seeing them. They are sometimes in the background, or when they come up, I can see them differently now, you know. And it's not that I'm saying I'm not crying anymore. No. But it is very different perception of life now, very different. And I had a huge like a transformation of my ego as well in the bath. I was having a bath, and I was again crying my eyes out. And then something happened again, like it was a big shift. I could feel it in my energy field, and my self-worth just literally came out, and my ego went a little bit differently, organized itself a little bit differently, more to being more helpful tool rather than in a driving seat. So that was really lovely for me as well. I was kind of so pleased, you know, that happened, because again, you change, everything changes then. So there was so many jumps throughout the 3 years now, that now I can say that I kind of arrived to a point where I remembered how to be this, you know, this portal, this pillar of light, and let the world be as it is, and choose what I want to do. So from my kind of strengths, you know, and creativity, rather than being affected by whatever is happening around me. So really interesting journey, and gifts popped up, you know, and talents popped up throughout the way, and they kind of shifted and shaped. Meditations, that was probably I think that's the most beautiful thing I do at the moment, and the art, and that is really resonating with me, you know, because I can just open up and let the energies come through. That's really lovely. And yeah, so this is where I am now. And, you know, I was thinking, like, past few weeks, I thought, what now? What am I going to do now? You know, like, you arrive into this thing when you realize that you are everything. You know, you are every single thing, and that you are experiencing yourself through different energies, through different lenses, through different perceptions. And I thought, okay. So I felt a little bit lonely. You know, I thought, wow, this is nothing. There's nothing around. There's nothing. And then there is all of this. And I thought, what am I going to do with it? You know, so there are days when I thought, right, I'm going to open creation. And then there are days when I just have to observe myself, because there is no creation happening. So it's a really very interesting observation of the experience. Yeah.
You make this fast tracking of awakening look so easy, or sound so easy. I'm wondering, those who knew you back, let's say in 2015, 2016, and then all of a sudden you flipped in 2018 and 19, what kind of feedback did you get from those folks? Did you have any people drop off the wayside, or people get really curious? How did that unfold for you?
So we are kind of moving around a little bit because my husband is in the military, and so we lived in Oxford, and then as this happened, we moved to Plymouth. And literally when I started to know people around here, I was at the beginning of I had a year before, because it happened 2019. So I had the 2018 to make connections. And I have to say, so throughout my life and all my, the way I was, you know, experiencing my childhood and everything, I had to learn one thing, and that was to figure things out on my own and to listen to the inner guidance. Even that I did not know what, I was not kind of into any dimensions or any of this, but there was just something really powerful there. And I loved angels very much, you know, and I loved Archangel Michael very much. And that was my always like, you pray to angels, you know. And so he was my, you know, go guy. So I was kind of communicating with him. However, I had no idea that it is just an aspect of us, you know, and all of this, what happens. Anyway, so this training as a child helped me to make sense out of it all in a very in a way I could, you know, like which made me feel good. And I had to kind of close down. I went inwards, I went quiet, and I had to have this almost like a, what do you call it, when the thingy, the butterflies goes into the
chrysalis, cocoon.
Yeah, that's it. The cocoon. Yeah. So, you know, I had to go into this cocoon and see what was in there, like, you know, figure it out, how my feeling was going on. Whoa, it was like, you know, it was fast. So yes, some people did not resonate and they just fall off, and a couple of friends here I still have and they may not understand what I'm talking about, but they are not judgmental. You know, they still receive me as I am, even though they probably not understand completely. Some of it they do, but not completely. And that's really lovely. But my friend circle is very small. It's very small. It's because sometimes I feel that it's enough, you know, because there is lots of messages all the time happening, and I don't really want to spend all day on my phone. If you have a big group of friends, you know, I'm kind of happy with the small circle. Yeah, and I think people go and come, you know, when however it's needed. So I'm open to new friendships, and if somebody has to go, then they have to go. It's okay, you know. I had actually an experience where with one particular person, but who I thought that we could be really close, but it hasn't happened. In fact, it was like when the split happened, it went literally like that, you know. So I don't feel anything actually bad towards anyone. You know, if somebody is leaving my reality, I send them love because I see myself in them, and you can't do anything else. You know, so I go into meditation, send them love, and when thoughts which could come from past experiences come up, I breathe them out, you know, and it gets less and less and less, and then it just kind of dissolves. So it's been very interesting, very interesting.
You're a very good observer, to just sit back and observe and just let it be what it's going to be.
I think it's just easy to do it that way, because then you are not, then you don't drag it with you that much, you know.
Right. I have to read something, if you don't mind me sharing, and I would love to get some background on this. I found this on your page from March 20th, the Galactic Rose. And this is so beautiful. I started tearing up as I was reading it, so I just wanted to share it with everybody here. There are rivers of love around us, in us, being touched by the sunlight, the shape of our thoughts of freedom. There we put on our wings and fly. We take off feeling connected to our hearts. The path becomes the trust, and in time, we get a sense of many layers through which we perceive experience. We immerse in the higher vision and feel into what is that we truly are. We fly through the waves of understanding ourselves. We fly through the rocky path until the two worlds become one. We feel togetherness, even within the shades of all that is continuously rebirthing us through our beliefs. The Galactic Rose. That's so beautiful. Was that something you channeled, or how did that come about?
So that came about at the very beginning of my path, of my journey of this, and I didn't know what I was saying really very much then. So that was channeled, yes. But I was looking at it going, I get it. But each time I look back at it, there is a different, I see something different. And I was guided to put it out there because it actually beautifully explains the whole journey, you know, because there is one world for people, and then there is two worlds, because you suddenly are like, what's going on? And then those two worlds become one, but you have to kind of understand the duality to make unity. And when that happens, it's so beautiful because you rest into trust and peace. And I really like those words because it is all about the shadow work. It is about the love we actually are. It is about us going home to the love again, whilst we are perceiving ourselves and experiencing ourselves and feeding the information to the soul. So there's just so many, it's in a few sentences, but it sort of beautifully describes, I think, the whole journey. For me anyway. So.
And how did the Galactic Rose come about as the title?
So I was at the beginning of my priestess training, and the rose came in with the Magdalena and through Isis and Mother Mary. But the word galactic, that was something I was fascinated by. I did not know what that meant, but it came, and I thought, I'm gonna have to write that. I'm going to have to write the Galactic Rose, because that's what came. And my resonance was so strong with it that, again, you know, the inner guidance I was telling you when I was a child, going, trust yourself, trust your guidance, was there. So I just left it. And then the rose came with it as well. Like when I was doing the lines, you know, this is what I mean with the drawings. When I do line or my paintings, I get the words with it. So it's almost like I open up by allowing the color to come through, and then the words come, because then the color tells me what it is. Yes.
Wow. And that's the beautiful thing about channeling too. It transcends all time. I have a friend
Mm.
that channels and she'll pull up things from 5, 6 years ago. And it's like so applicable to right now. I mean, it's amazing to me how that works.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's the resonance as well, because we always read messages. I explained this to my girls. I said, I can tell you a sentence and I've got 2 girls, you will pick it up completely differently than to your sister. And this is when people ask, but I'm not heard. People don't hear me even when I try to say and explain things. They don't understand. Like, of course they don't understand, because the resonance is not there, or the vibration is not picking up what you are trying to tell them. So we are all only picking up on what matches, doesn't it? So I think that's why maybe those words, when they come even 6 years ago, they are always relevant to us, especially when they come from people like your friend, because they carry even if they don't know, they carry the consciousness. There is something there, isn't it? The vibration is there. And I think we just shared it a little bit differently before we knew all of this, or I did anyway.
So you have 2 daughters?
I've got 2 daughters, yes.
So what do they think of Mom's journey? As they've been very close to you, watching it all unfold.
Yes. Oh gosh, yeah. They knew who they chose.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely. It's so we've been on a journey together, basically, because we talk so much. We're very close, and I express everything I know to them. I try to teach them what I was observing in myself, and of course, situations around them always opened up a conversation for them to grow, because what I was going through in a certain way, it was happening for them in a little bit different way, but at the same time. So we've always discussed everything. And even my youngest one, who is 14 next month, she says, Mommy, before all of this, what was the life like? And I'm like, I have no idea. I can't remember many things right now. There is this very strange fluidity happening at the moment, which I don't know quite what it, or how can I completely name it. But since we left schooling, because they both homeschooled now, that was decided by my body, believe it or not, and by their bodies. Their body became sick. And my older daughter developed all here. She had eczema, and then she had a broken lips. She had dry hands all the way up to there, and she was so stressed, not sleeping. It was literally the body was going no. And my younger daughter, she developed Tourette's, but she calls them superpowers, and this was her choice. She's like, I'm not labeling myself as this, I'm going to call it superpowers. So we everyone around her made sort of that adjustment. Even when I spoke to the teachers, I was really like, you calling it superpowers. No Tourette's.
I love that.
And yeah, so there was loads of ticking came out. And this literally happened very shortly after I was awakened. So of course there was a reason for it. So she was at home with me for the whole year. And when we made that decision, we went for a walk. And as we were walking through the woods, during the day, there was an owl flying by, and there was a blue dragonfly flying in the middle of us. And I was just like, this is so interesting, so surreal and exciting at the same time. So we knew, I knew, I was like, this is good, this is good. I was stressed. Of course I was stressed, because I did, what was happening within me, I saw in her going out with it, with all these sounds. And so nobody knew in the whole family what to do with this. It was, very new to all of us. So that was a very interesting journey. And she's 14 and she still has them now. She was going in between the homeschooling now and homeschooling before. She had a school here for 1 year. And again, her body started to be very unwell. Her tummy was painful. She was feeling sick, but it wasn't from the actual environment from the school, but it was from the subjects, the way they were taught, the way that she was asked to behave and to be. All of those things she did not like. And then with me, oh my gosh, I was driving her half an hour from here to her school every day. And so I was driving like 500 miles every week, because I wanted to, we picked up this school which was alternative, because she was ready to face a different chapter in her life. So she did that. But then my body started to dislike the journey, to the point that I felt really sick driving over there. And everything, my whole body was literally, I had to make few stops on the way home, because I could not drive through in one. My body was going no. So that was again like another whoa, big wave of energy, changing timelines. And then January came this year, and we all contracted COVID. And all of us, the whole family,
at the same time. Wow.
And then they never went back to school, neither of them. Because we all figured out that it's not serving us anymore. The structure, the people, the way they were taught, everything, none of it was serving us anymore. So we made the leap, and now we are in March, and it's very interesting, because the younger one is very like still unsure, very unsure. She's like, I don't know what I want to do. So she's a little bit like, she visits a little bit of mass, and she loves piano, so she has very, she loves all this spirituality, very much. However, if I go a little bit too much about it, she goes, no, I'm not interested. So fair enough. And my older daughter, she is very Greek, like into Greek myth. She's got hundreds of books on that, and she's like trying to connect these gods and goddesses together, and it's really like she loves it so much that she's looking into Egyptology, archaeology, and all this stuff. So there is a little bit of a direction, however it's not certain. So we are in this moments where I don't have to get up certain time, we don't have to go to bed certain time, and it's very different. And very fluid.
Sounds wonderful.
It is, but there is another little bit of, so are we gonna like have a bit of a direction, or are we just gonna be in this in this waiting period for a while? So some days I feel absolutely okay, some days I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and some days I'm like, that little bit of a I want to say fear creeps up, because I have messages from my family members going, are you gonna do something with those children, or are they never gonna get education, or all that. But trying to explain everything to them is helpful. I don't think they really get it completely, but I have a really good sort of lucky, I'm really lucky with the family I have around. They might not completely understand, but they are not angry, which is really lovely. They're trying to help. Like my father-in-law, he's absolutely amazing. He doesn't understand what I'm doing very like completely in depth, but he's trying to help, which is so beautiful. And I'm really grateful. So there are so many different things right now.
So your daughter that's studying Egyptology and the gods and goddesses, Greek mythology and all that, has she done any sort of tapping in, or have you helped her do any tapping into her interest in that, because my sense is she's experienced that in another life.
Yes, definitely. We did past life. I brought her into past life. She took a lot of gifts from those. I think I did 3 with her, 3 past life journeys. We talk a lot. I sort of teach her how to channel the messages which come through without judging anything. So she wrote like a couple of pages now on how she feels about Athena, about Artemis, about Aphrodite, and things like that. She's very gently she's learning the Egyptian hieroglyphs, and it's very much, it's so beautiful to watch, because she reads what's in front of her. And what I think will be the next step, it will be that she will actually trust her inner feeling and then bring more of her own memories into her experience. Yeah. So beautiful. Yeah, we'll see how. I'm just like letting it be when she wants to, it's like, it's a little bit, I don't want to make her feel like she needs to do something, because that will just shut the door. Yeah. So it is a little bit challenging as well, I'm not saying it isn't, because I constantly have to repeat myself, I trust.
Yep.
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I trust. So yeah, I think it's really good that we talk a lot. I would really recommend that to parents and children, Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm sitting here getting all these energy waves off of that artwork behind you.
I know.
And I'm like, I'd love for you to talk to that a little bit. How you go about making these creations, because they are pretty potent as I'm looking at them and feeling into them. Tell me a little bit about how that process works for you. So
I always paint when I'm on a journey, and I paint the journey. And so I feel a lot of light around me, and I know that I have to put it into physical, because I know that it will help other people to receive that information in their unique way. So whatever is happening in my reality, I then bring down onto colors. So this painting, for example, that's the Kundalini Awakening.
Oh, no wonder I'm feeling so much off of that. I was going to ask, what is going on there?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was because it was so crazy and chaotic and massive, and one could call it dark. I don't see it as dark. I saw it as evolution. It's simple as that, So that had to be put on this painting. It was lots of dark, like black, like diving into the deep center, which you cannot see, but there's light. That it's made out of light, and it's the trust in that, and then so the masculine and feminine on those sides that just needed to come in sort of into, and then I always see the painting as the unity, because it's on one canvas. So that's the unity of the painting, of the experience, and then in it is all these energies which comes through the dimensions when I'm connecting to them. And it comes down through a color or through words. So if I record a meditation for a person who I'm painting for, the words which are in the colors come through either light language or just normal words, and it's a meditation which will be delivering different sort of experiences and codes when they listen. There's never ending to it, because it is such a quantum art. There can't be from here to there. It's just constant, infinite potentials coming out of them. And that's why I really like it, because even for me, I have paintings obviously around my house, and depending what vibration I'm in, I see different images in those paintings. And then the other day I experienced something so beautiful. I had a painting since Lionsgate 2019. And I was in this really beautiful deep meditation. I opened my eyes, and in the middle of it, there was Mother Mary, but literally like in her, like, little the scarf and just looking down with their eyes. I've never, ever, ever seen that face in one of those paintings, never. And I just thought, how did I never see that? Like now I see it all the time. When I look at it, it's there. It's like there. Yeah, very interesting. So I have journeys, the girls as well. And so my husband, he looks at it and he goes, I haven't seen this bit before. Or look, there is like this heart, or this could be an angel, or, you know. So I love it, really, because so the other one down here is like chakra alignment. That's when I literally at the beginning going, I need to align my chakras. That was so important for me. So I think I've done that before. So now I can say I've done this before so many times. And I'm always thankful to my spirit and the energy, the soul around it, that I'm like, I love you so much. Thank you for being so amazing. And, you know, that I can experience all of this in such a fast way, in a way, right? Because, I mean, if people are in this for 20 years, that must be so exhausting. But I know that, you know, obviously they are on their paths and stuff like that. So fair enough, you know, I'm not judging. But I would find it exhausting, because those 3 years were exhausting, you know. So yeah, that's the behind me, it's Archangel Gabriel.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna say, it's so angelic. I'm so drawn to that one. I have Gabriel back there. Can you see him?
Oh, I see. Oh yes, yes. Oh my gosh. I find it, so he's like my gatekeeper. And I feel a lot of, since connecting with him, there was huge shifts in my life again. You know, there is always, sometimes it's subtle, but sometimes it's big. And I can feel when it's big, because something flips outside, you know, something adjusts, and I am like,
there it is.
Jump time again, yeah. So I don't know if you can see that one, but that one is for solar plexus. That was that's what that one started to come in. Those circles, these big circles started to come in when my light language was activated in the river. Which was so beautiful.
Wow.
It was literally like, I did lots of sounds and lots of tones, lots of toning in a car, driving my younger daughter to school. And I was very pleased that it was just me in a car, because it was like screeching noises and lots of sounds which were not pleasant. And I was like, oh my gosh, why am I doing all of this? But I need to get that chakra open, you know. It's like, oh, that needs to go. It needs to come out. So, you know, I was glad I was alone. And so I was standing in the river. I go quite often. And then suddenly the words started to come. And I was like, wow, what is that? What are these words? And so I see it more like a multiple light language codes rather than just one light language, because it comes, I see always in my mind's eye, who is it connected to? Because I get a picture, and then I know that the sounds are through that vibration. So again, something I kind of trust and discovered within, you know, how I've done the paintings. And so that's how it started. These ones, they sort of come in as a womb, and in that womb is all their creation and the infinite possibilities of perception and belief. And when I sort of connect to that older person, I connected to solar plexus in that one, and lots of self-worth came with that painting, like, you know, judgment, how much people judge themselves and the relationships and all that. So that was really beautiful to paint, and yeah, and to transmute as well, you know, at the same time. And then that one up there, that one was, I don't know what's happening in Africa right now, but I had this strong feeling 2 years ago I've fallen into this meditation where I've never done this before. I've opened a portal there somewhere. It was kind of Tanzania, sort of there. And I could feel all these animals and all this turquoise light, and lots happened. And it was about 2 hours. It was a really long meditation. And then I've forgotten all about it. And then then this painting came after what happened early on this year. I had one of those sentences delivered. I don't know what it was now. I can't remember. See, this is what I mean.
Yeah.
Something happened again, and this. Oh, I remember now. So I had 3 times during the night, I had the white light delivered into my, or delivered, not delivered, projected from the inner outer into my third eye, and that's really quite huge, because this happened a first time for me when I visited Oracle of Delphi in Greece. I went to the temple there, and I had really beautiful time for myself. There's 3 trees there, and I didn't go with the guides, who were just walking around telling them all the stuff what probably was their truth. I had to sit by the tree, and I was really like, how can I serve? Tell me, how can I serve? And I don't know, just guide me, like I was connecting to the crystal grids underneath. And I arrived to the hotel in the evening, and I was woken up. That was another amazing experience. I was woken up and I saw a blue eye. I saw this beautiful blue eye, and I was just like, wow, what was that? And then I saw flower of life around me in black. I was like kind of in this hologram of a flower of life, which was black. So again, I didn't know what it, I still don't know what it kind of meant properly. It was just kind of, I saw the picture and I was like, okay, something is happening, obviously. And then this blue eye was almost like a drawing, with like paints, like acrylic paints. And then I saw the blue eye, exactly the same blue eye again when we came here. And then for the 3rd time, when I saw the blue eye, it was literally on my ceiling, but it was human eye. It was massive. Wow. on top of the ceiling.
Do you think God has blue eyes?
I think he's got all
wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, so it is. So it's like, I don't know, maybe it's the eye that I'm, like the womb. I just see there's just so many different ways. How can you perceive these? Like, it's almost like a mandalas, but it's not. There's so much more than the word mandala to it,
Right. Wow.
So it's fascinating. Yeah, really
so
fascinating journey.
With your light language, have you done any of that publicly?
So what I have done with my light language, I have had a few videos on my YouTube channel, but then I decided to delete them all my videos. I went through Facebook crisis. I thought, I don't want any of this. Facebook, YouTube videos, I've deleted the whole lot. and then I came back.
Oh geez, been there, done that.
yeah. So I have what I've been guided now to do was to take paintings and do a light transmission with the painting on YouTube channel. I've done one. I know that this is something that I will be doing, but at the moment I am a little bit busy with just so many things. So it is there, and it will happen when it needs to happen. I've got one on my YouTube channel. And then what I've been really busy with is this course, which is Being Born. And there I do meditations and light language in there. And this is to go through the chakras and align. And I am trying to give people what I have experienced, like the fast tracks. It is possible. So I'm trying to, obviously everybody is at their unique sort of, on their unique path, and as much time as they need, it will take. But I don't know why it happened like this for me. And I'm thinking, why, I'm just going to try to share that in any way that I can help people to understand, because when they remember everything shifts, you know, the whole planet
Yes.
will uplift and the collective consciousness will be amazing, and then we can manifest beautiful things. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So I was guided to ask you to bring some paper and markers, not really knowing what that was about. And you started to explain a little bit of me to how that works. So why don't you go ahead and explain it to everybody listening, and then see where you're guided to bring in some sort of message for the collective. How does that
Sure.
sound?
Yeah, that sounds really lovely. Did you say the oracle deck? Sorry, I don't.
The drawing, the markers and the
The
drawing.
drawing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I will pick up a card as well. I feel like that would be a good idea. Yeah. So explaining it. So as I said, it's a color, and then it connects me to a message.
Okay.
Usually. So I don't kind of look at the color, and I pick one, and I picked orange. So I literally, I've got to, I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, I'm just going to do it here and then I show you. And really, I just do a circle as it is what I'm guided to do, and I completely trust that. So I just do a circle, and I think it's red. It's like a reddy orange. So as I am, this is really weird. I don't talk about it. So hang on, I don't know how to explain it at the same time as I'm getting
That's
the message.
fine. You do your process, then you can explain afterwards.
Yeah.
If you want.
So, I mean, just what I'm feeling already, because this is like a reddy orange color, as we were talking about the womb a lot. So I just feel like we will be connecting to the womb. And because the womb is all creation, is the mother, we could do a little, just a little transmission, if you like.
Yes.
That's what it would be nice. I'm also picking up on the inner child. So because we have the ability to connect to our creative energy, to our creative self, we bring everything, you know, we bring the masculine, the feminine, and the child. And it is like, it could be called a trinity. It could be called as, you know, we come from one thing and then we experience ourselves and then we move it into something. So that could be the trinity as well, like a triangle. So I think that's why the womb is sort of explained as a triangle, and I'm just drawing the triangle. For me, I really like the Sri Yantra to work with. So I'm gonna bring in the Sri Yantra in as well, because that's something I love working with in the womb, because of those triangles, and I can see them as so many possibilities that they will manifest into everybody's reality for the highest good in any way that it needs to be manifested. So it takes me to trust and peace. So I would like to bring this beautiful white light through the cosmos and through Mother Earth into anybody who is listening, into their womb, the womb of creation, so you can connect completely, utterly, and purely with all that you are, the essence of God consciousness, of all that is, the beautiful white light that we are all made of love, unconditional love. And that any challenges are really there for you to evolve, to understand differently each time they come in. And this is so important because it is like a playground, again, coming to the inner child, into discovering itself through joy and play. And yes, sometimes we fall on our knees like children, but then we learn and we teach, or we talk about it so others can remember as well. So I've got, all right, so I've got Isis coming in as well. So I'm just going to let the pen rest for a moment. And then just connect to your breath and feel that goddess Isis, the divine feminine within you. So do go into your heart and just open your heart and invite that blessing of goddess Isis and the divine feminine to connect with you in the deepest way, for the highest good of your body, mind, spirit, soul, the collective. And receive this beautiful blessing, and I'm seeing white rose. So as you're breathing, just imagine this beautiful white rose in your heart, opening petal by petal. And you can also connect to the goddess Isis as she stands around you and will guide you, will help you to focus on things that are important on your path, help you to focus on your inner language, on your inner words, how you speak to your waters. So this is the whole divine feminine coming in, because as we program our waters, they then project into our reality all the words that we talk to ourselves. So as we speak nicely and kindly with compassion and laugh to ourselves, we will then also see this in our reality. We will open our hearts to others as well. Where if there is any conflict, we can only send love, because we know that that is a projection of our waters, of our soul, of our spirit to communicate to us where we need to heal. So just take another breath here and feel the white rose, and you can call this white rose in your heart anytime as you like. If you feel challenged, just connect to the petals, the beautiful golden center, and the green, the white light, and the heart. I have some light language codes coming in. Just draw that with my hands as well. It's a very peaceful meditation. It's more about the energy than the words. I know that there is a sort of vibrational transmission here, but there is a lot of energy just being opened and received at the same time. The dolphins consciousness, the beautiful dolphins and waves, just coming in to tweak the waters into peace, and a beautiful crystalline crystalline light into the cells coming in. So as the dolphins are just playing and delivering the energies through them into people's energy fields, just relax and trust your higher self, that the higher self knows exactly where to put this energy. Just take a deep breath. And I'm coming back to the triangle, sort of grounding this experience into the paper here in front of me and into Mother Gaia and her womb, as she was so beautiful and connected with us, her white light, her core, her womb, her love, just to remind us that we are extension of her and we are creators. So with the next breath, just come back and open
Oh
your
my
eyes.
gosh, that was so beautiful.
Oh, good.
Wow. Wow, what a treat. Thank you so much.
There you go. There's my womb and triangle. I don't know if you can see that very well.
Oh, wow. It's like the
It's-
Star of David
Oh my
or-
gosh, yeah. Yeah.
or
Like
tetrahedron,
Merkaba.
or
Yeah.
is it octahedron? I get those confused.
It's probably a little bit like coming out on the side. So if you see this middle bit, that's like octahedron.
Okay.
And then when you put like these two together, it's like if you're looking at Merkaba, but not in 3D. You know,
Yes, yes.
I just
Wow.
said that. And there's a little inner child.
And I know this is going to apply to so many people, but I just have to say personally, I was told last week that Isis was coming in to work with me. So it's very interesting that she came forward. And I'm doing a spiritual event this weekend. And this morning on my walk in the woods, I was going, I hope I can find white roses. I'm going to have to manifest white roses to bring with me to the event.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is so
great.
incredible. I don't know if you can see the light. It changed like really
Yeah.
dark.
Well, your
Yes.
whole light has changed. It's interesting.
I love when things like this go deep. It's like it goes deep and I love it. I just like the nitty-gritty stuff.
Yes.
You know, going, what's there?
Well, before we leave, let's pull a card.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, because you have this. Share with everybody what deck you're using.
Oh, so I'm
Because I know
using
that it has.
Denny Lynn, the Sacred Forest.
Yes, I love the forest.
Yes.
I'm gonna have
So
to look that one up because that
you've
sounds really good.
You've been in the forest, you said, yeah?
Yes. Oh, I'm in the forest whenever I can.
Mm. Yeah. So I'm just asking for the card to pick for this beautiful group and all your lovely creations you're doing, whatever we need to all hear. And I have focus. And it says Wizard of the Woods, focus.
Beautiful.
So I guess that's also confirming the meditation, because the focus is really important. And it is because we need to focus on, the resonance, right? What we have with information, and whatever information comes to our energy field, we have a choice to interact with it. And I think that's really important to focus our resonance with that information, because if your resonance goes down or your vibration goes down, you know that there is either something that you want to look at or you want to move on. You know, do I need to put boundaries there, or is it something that doesn't resonate anymore and I can just let go? Or is it something that do I need to look elsewhere for something else? You know, I think resonance is so important, because it changes our perception. You know, it's just so interesting, this whole journey. And he's got a hand out with the white light. So I think that again is a spiral as well. So just to remember that we are white light, you know, that we are creators, and the spiral goes up and then goes down. And when we are down, it's okay because nothing stays the same. Everything moves. Energy moves all the time. So we are not going to be in a deep, never, you know, we're going to go up again. So I think it's lovely. And then also when we are deep down, we're just discovering who we are again and again, don't we? Also, I really like the masculine here, because I think sometimes there is a lot of concentration on the feminine. And I think it's really nice to bring the masculine in as well, because it's the movement. It's not about men. It's the movement. It's the focus, isn't it? So we can create as much as we like within the feminine, but then the movement actually manifests it, doesn't it? So it's really important, I think, to bring the masculine in as well. Yeah, I just see, you know, it's actually looking like my background right now. It's this, you know, this, like, it's okay to be in a cocoon, you know?
Right.
Yeah, because in that we just discover ourselves. And I love the trees as well, because the connection with Gaia is so important. It always aligns us, doesn't it?
Yes.
And then we find, like, the cells in our body just they uplift and they change shape. I mean, I love it going to the woods and the river. I feel amazing. Every time I feel amazing. And I cry a lot there as well. You know, when something comes up, I feel like, oh, I need to. And it just sometimes, and it actually is quicker now. I don't know what happened, but it's quicker as well. Doesn't take that long. Oh my gosh, we have a visitor.
Yes, he's reminding me it's time to feed him.
Oh, that's amazing. How long have you been, like, talking?
It's a little over an hour, maybe. So what I'd like to do is, before we go, is for you to share some of your, or where people can find you, and I will post that below this video as well. But I also want you to just briefly touch upon some of your offerings, because you have some really unique offerings that are so cool.
So I must say my website is out of date. Because I've been moving so fast, some things just don't happen anymore and new things are coming online. So I have a self-fi sort of store, and that is always updated.
Okay.
So more so than my website, my offerings. So what I like is to connect with people, and then they can tell me what is it that they are after, what is it that they desire, and I could then deliver or not, depends what they want and how I feel about it, you know. So I would say to people, just contact me and we can talk and exchange emails. But kind of like what I offer now is this course which is coming out. I've done the root chakra. It has got 2 meditations and lots of writing about stuff. So that's in my self-I store, and I offered 2 options. One is for just the meditation and all the writing, and one is the meditation, all the writing, and a Zoom session as well as a one-to-one, because I think it's really important that people kind of don't fall back into their own patterns. We kind of need to work on things. You know, it's not that 2 meditations will change your life. You have to willingly
put the effort in.
yeah. So I offer that session there as well. That's really important. And what else? So meditations with the paintings, like personalized meditations, I think they are really powerful because you can listen to them as many times as you want. The paintings are amazing because it's like a quantum energy exchange continuously. Yeah, so I think that's right now what's happening. what I'm like offering anyway.
Beautiful. And I know there will be more, because you are just overflowing with so much right now. Thank you, Petra. I so appreciate you being here and sharing yourself with everyone.
Well, I thank you so much from my heart, because I've never done this before. It's been amazing. And
you did so well.
Well, I was a little bit nervous at the beginning.
Oh, you did good. Well, thank you so much. Cheryl, say goodbye to everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Take care.